Welcome to Hosh's Kitchen, and today I've got a good one for you. We're going to make Copycat McChicken sandwiches in the air fryer. And this is a combination of a couple ideas from a few different people, including our neighbor Jamie, and I think you're going to love it. I think they taste really good. The chicken is crispy, and I think most importantly is you know exactly what's going into your sandwich. And I'm going to show you how to make it with a bun and without a bun if you're watching your carbs. And if you find this video helpful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Now let's get cooking. Here's the ingredients you're going to need. First off, let's talk about the chicken. You're going to need a pound of ground chicken, and then to make it taste really good, we're going to season it great. You're going to need some yellow mustard, some table salt, garlic powder, onion powder, paprika, black pepper, and cayenne pepper. And in the description below, I've got the full recipe and all the ratios as far as the ingredients go. Then to coat the chicken, we're going to need some breadcrumbs. These are just plain breadcrumbs. Then for the bun, just use normal hamburger buns, or if you're going low carb, you can use lettuce leaves. I'll show you how to do that. And then to top it, it's super simple. We're going to chop up some lettuce and mayonnaise. That's all you need. And then for the air fryer, we're going to need some cooking spray. So now, before I get my hands filled with raw chicken, we're going to prep a few things. The first thing we're going to do is preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Okay, next we've got our hamburger buns, and I've got a rimmed cookie sheet with a wire rack in here, and I'm just going to take the hamburger buns, take them apart, and put the cut side up, and set those aside. Then I'm going to take about a cup of just regular breadcrumbs and add it to a rimmed baking sheet. You can use a plate or any kind of thing that you want that has some kind of rim so the breadcrumbs don't come out. So that's about a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm going to set that aside. I'm going to grab my canola spray and spray the bottom of the basket of the air fryer. And then the last thing is the lettuce. So I have some romaine lettuce leaves that have been washed and dried. And what I'm going to do here is cut them into some thin slices. Not too thin, but some thin slices. You don't want them too big or too small, otherwise they'll fall off the sandwich. So what I do is I just kind of stack them up like this. And I take my knife, and then I just cut some nice thin strips. All right, and I'm going to use my bench scraper, scoop them up, put them in a bowl, and then set that aside. So that's all the things we needed to prep before we get our hands into some raw chicken. That's next up. For the chicken, here's what you do. We have the three things we need: our pound of ground chicken, our tablespoon of yellow mustard, and all of our spices. And we also need a big bowl and a fork to mix it all together. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my ground chicken and empty it into a big bowl. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the 1 tablespoon of yellow mustard. And then the next thing is the spices. Now, very important with the spices, we found it works better to add all the spices to a bowl and mix them together rather than adding it 1 spoonful at a time, because that way you're going to make sure your food gets seasoned evenly. And what this is in here is 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add about half of it and then mix it up really good with the fork. I found the fork does a great job of mixing it. Now I'm going to add the second half of the spices. I'm going to continue to mix all this till it's mixed up really well. Our ground chicken is all mixed up, and now I'm going to show you how to make the patties. Now, we found that 3-ounce patties make the perfect size for a hamburger bun. And we have a pound of ground chicken, so you're going to get 5 patties. Now, in order to get the 3-ounce patty, there's 2 ways you can do it. My preferred way is with a kitchen scale. You just weigh it out until it hits 3 ounces. If you don't have one, this is a really good one. It's pretty cheap. It's on Amazon. There's a link to it in the description below. I also found that 1/3 of a cup is about 3 ounces. So if you don't have a scale, just use 1/3 of a cup. Now, your hands are going to get a little sticky no matter what, but I'm going to show you what to do. So we are going to weigh out 3 ounces here of ground chicken. Okay, I've got 3 ounces of ground chicken. I'm going to pick it up with my hands. Again, we're dealing with raw chicken here. So what I'm going to try to do, and it's a little sticky, but I'm going to try to make a patty the exact same size of the bun. Okay, so right about like that. Then I'm going to flip it a couple times in the breadcrumbs. Okay, takes a little bit to get it off my hand here. Okay, put that in the breadcrumbs. Flip it again, and flip it again. So here's what we got. We got a nicely coated chicken patty, and I'm going to put that right in the air fryer. Now the next one I'll show you without the digital scale, we're just going to use 1/3 cup. So you can take your fork here and just fill up 1/3 cup with the ground chicken. And we found that's pretty close to 3 ounces. So I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, I flipped it a couple times in the breadcrumbs. We've got a nicely coated patty that's going in the air fryer. Now, I'm going to wash my hands, and then we'll show you what to do in the air fryer. Our 2 patties are in the air fryer. So here's how we're going to cook them. It's going to be a total of 12 minutes at 390 degrees. We're going to go 6 minutes, flip, and then another 6 minutes. And before I put them in, they're both in here, I'm going to spray the top with some oil here. And then again, we're going to do 6 minutes and flip them. So I'll see you in 6 minutes. The first 6 minutes is up, and it's starting to smell delicious in here. You can really smell the spices. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take them out and flip them. I'm going to set my air fryer on a pad there. And let me show you what they look like so far before I flip them. So that's what they look like so far. Okay. Now I'm going to flip them, and then I'm going to spray them again with the canola oil, and put them in for another 6 minutes at 390 degrees. There's 3 minutes left on the air fryer, so now it's time to put our buns in the oven at 375 for 3 minutes. And then I'll show you how to put the sandwich together. The 12 minutes are up, the buns are out of the oven, and the patties are out of the air fryer. And let me show you what they look like. So that's 12 minutes in the air fryer. They're nice and golden brown, nice and crispy. Now I'll show you how to put together a sandwich. So for the bun sandwich, you can see that size patty, the 3-ounce patty, fits about perfect on the bun, just like that. And we're going to take some shredded lettuce, put that on top of the chicken, and then we're going to take this part of the bun, the top part of the bun, and get a nice dollop of mayonnaise. We like Dukes here, but a nice bunch of mayonnaise. In my opinion, the more mayonnaise, the better, but that's just me. All right? And we're going to stick that right on top of there. And that's what we're looking at right there for your McChicken sandwich. Okay? We're going to let that cool off a little bit before I take a bite. And then if any of you are trying to go bunless or watch your carbs, what I noticed is if I take the patty like this, here's the second patty, and if I cut it in half, it fits almost perfect onto a romaine lettuce leaf, just like that. So here, you can see that. Now I'm just going to take my mayonnaise and put it on the other side of the lettuce, just like this. All right, I put the top lettuce on, and then I'm going to cut it in half, and there you go. Now you've got a bunless lettuce wrap, I guess, of a McChicken sandwich. So it's probably pretty hot, but I'm going to take a bite. These things are so good. They're seasoned great. The seasoning gets all through the chicken. The mayonnaise is there. Let's see how we did. They're so good. Excuse me. Give these a try. I think you're really going to like them. We'll see you next time on Hash's Kitchen.